Welcome to our on-demand webinar, Distribution and Marketing Strategies for Your COVID-19 Hotel Recovery Plan. For our webinar speakers, we have Margaret Mastro-Giacomo, EVP of Strategy at NextGuest. Margaret has worked in hospitality for over a decade, working with leading global hospitality brands. At NextGuest, Margaret leads overall corporate strategy and provides strategic direction across key engagement, acquisition, and retention channels for the agency's robust client portfolio. We also have Daniel Parker from Premier Advisory Group. Daniel has worked in revenue management in hotels in the US, United Kingdom, and Ireland and Canada. He now works for Premier Advisory Group as the Senior Regional Manager of Revenue and Distribution Support, helping hotels to maximize their full revenue and distribution capabilities. And I'm Victoria Shaw, and I will be your moderator today. Here's an agenda of what we will be covering in this webinar. First, we'll start with a hotel industry forecast. Then we'll go into an overview of the journey to recovery and the 3 phases. Next, we'll dive into the first phase, travel on pause. We'll then cover industry recovery data trends, which will then take us into phase 2, the initial rise in travel demand. Next, we'll go into some booking behavior data trends, and then we'll cover phase 3, travel demand strengthening. And finally, we'll end with some key takeaways based on what we've discussed. So let's get started with the COVID-19 industry outlook. The charts shown here illustrate the global impact of COVID-19 on travel based on sojourn travel data. Unsurprisingly, flight searches across all regions have decreased significantly year over year, correlating with the spread of COVID-19 in each region. Global hotel bookings have also been heavily impacted as a result of COVID-19. As of March 22nd, hotel bookings across all regions were down by at least 75% year over year. According to an industry forecast from STR and Tourism Economics, in 2020, the US hotel industry is projected to see declines across supply, demand, occupancy, ADR, and revenue per available room, or RevPAR, which is projected to be down by 50.6%. According to a study by CBRE, from the start of the outbreak, it is predicted that it will take 6 to 10 months, which is about June, for US hotel demand to recover. And it'll also take 12 to 16 months, or about December, for ADR and RevPAR to recover. So even though travel has come to a virtual standstill, the market is expected to regain its footing in the latter part of the year and next year. What this means is hoteliers need to take the necessary steps to adequately prepare for recovery, while also setting proper expectations and KPIs. Here we have some results from a survey conducted by Fuel Travel. So due to the coronavirus outbreak, 45% of travelers have canceled the trip, while 11% of travelers have rescheduled the trip. Meanwhile, 59% of travelers still plan to take a vacation in 2020, and 14% of travelers are planning to take a vacation next year. So essentially, these survey results indicate that while many consumers have canceled their trips, they have not lost their desire to travel. Therefore, hotels can capture future bookings by engaging these travelers through a strong recovery plan. Here we have some stats around OTAs from the Cleveland Research Company. Due to COVID-19, OTA reservations were down by 80% year over year in the last week of March. Cancellations have also outpaced bookings by 2 to 3 times over the last few weeks in March. Additionally, 84% of hotel revenue managers expect OTAs to gain share as hotels are participating more in OTA promotions and raising commissions for better visibility. This data suggests that hotels need to be focused on shifting distribution to the direct channel.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is safe and well. Thanks for walking us through those forecasts and trends, Victoria. And in the strategy we're about to cover today, we've taken all of these forecasts and insights into consideration to ensure all of our recommendations reflect travel demand. And unfortunately for many hotels, emerging from the COVID-19 crisis will be like reopening a hotel from day one. For the hotels that have been lucky enough to keep their doors open, occupancy has dipped to as low as single digits for many hotels depending on the market. So now, more than ever, it's important to create a thoughtful recovery plan. To properly plan for rebound, it will be essential for hotels to define a clear revenue and distribution strategy aided by a strong digital marketing presence, and that's really the crux of what we're going to cover today. And ultimately, this will allow hotels to hit the ground running and take advantage of the growth in demand as soon as possible. As you begin thinking through your recovery strategy, it's important to establish your plan as a three-phase approach. The first phase is while travel is on pause, which is the phase we're in today. And during this time, it's important that even though people aren't traveling, that hotels stay connected with past and future guests through email, social, and editorial content to strengthen the brand relationship. And right now, it is critical that content entertains or adds value to people's everyday life, and that all content maintains a sensitive and positive message. People are going to remember how your brand made them feel during this difficult time, so it's really important to be thoughtful. The next phase in the journey to recovery is the initial rise in travel demand, when the focus is to ramp up your distribution and marketing strategy to reach those potential guests who are beginning to daydream and think about rebooking or planning vacations. And we want to ensure a flexible cancellation policy in this phase and beyond to really give people the confidence to book. And that brings us to our final phase, when travel demand continues to strengthen, where we continue our marketing efforts and really hone in on intent and lower funnel initiatives. So let's dive into some distribution and marketing strategies for while travel is on pause as I hand it over to Daniel.
Thanks very much, Margaret. I hope everyone's doing well and keeping safe. At this time, it's essential to make sure that you align all your strategies next to your revenue management strategies so you have one wholesale coherent strategy to attack this while travel is on pause. To do this, it really helps to make sure that your marketing plan is aligned with those revenue management strategies, and take the time to take a look that there is rate parity across all channels. At this point, obviously, we know that we're going to want to take any bookings regardless of where they come from. But to give yourself the best chance of creating those digital direct bookings, we need to make sure that the OTAs aren't undercutting us. Take the time to take a look at the book direct perks you're offering. Make sure that you're incentivizing your guests to book directly instead of going through an Expedia or a booking.com. And the thing is now, with the lack of consumer confidence in traveling, we need to make sure that we're offering them flexible cancellation policies through this channel. So if, God forbid, more travel restrictions are applied, they've got the availability to change their reservation or get their money back. And make sure as well that we're offering new packages. We're giving something to speak about to the hotel that we can advertise, something to grab their attention and make sure that they're giving a great reason to book directly with your hotel. So at this time, we're going to take a look at the distribution strategy for this first phase. Take the time to really audit all of your distribution channels, starting with the GDS. This, especially in most markets, is a very important channel to really drive those bookings. Take the time to audit your GDS HOD. Make sure you've got the most up-to-date photography. It's telling the agent everything you want them to know about your property. Take the time to spring clean your CRS database. Most of us know that as we go through, we're adding rate plans for seasonal promotions. We kind of accumulate these old rate plans that are still hiding. It's a really great time to go through that, deactivate those that you aren't using. So moving forward, your CRS is nice and cleaned up and you have a clear view of what you're doing. And again, as we mentioned previously, make sure to audit that rate parity. If there's any actors that are undercutting you, reach out to your market managers and start to engage them in getting everything cleaned up.
In addition to resetting your distribution strategy, it's also a great time to reassess key elements of your digital strategy. Some things you can consider revisiting are your marketing assets to determine if there's any creative or templates you're using that should be revamped or redesigned. It's also a great opportunity to review your website copy for relevancy, value, and brand voice, as well as revisit your website UX for overall ease of use. And to do this in a simple manner, you can approach your website through the lens of your key customer personas and evaluate how easy it is to access the important information and to ultimately conduct a booking. Jot down your notes along the way and share with relevant stakeholders to implement some website improvements. And finally, a key strategy that consistently falls to the back burner for many hotels is an online review and reputation management strategy. Revisiting best practices here will set you up for success, especially in the post-COVID-19 environment, where positive reviews around cleanliness and precautions will be critical for potential guests to really have that confidence to book.
Take this time as a golden opportunity to really get to know your systems as well. In today's hotel distribution landscape, we all work with PMSs, CRSs, CRMs, sometimes RMSs. These are always upgrading. They're adding new things to them. It's really tough to keep up and know what's going on. Reach out to your account managers. They have free webinars more often than not that you can use to really ensure that you're getting everything you need out of the system. Usually this is something we're too busy to do, but right now with demand on pause, you have a valuable opportunity to really take care of this.
From the marketing strategy perspective, based on the marketing channels your strategy has been leveraging, it's a great idea to explore if there are any strategies or new innovations you aren't utilizing and just brush up on your critical knowledge in these areas. Google has some great certification programs, as well as there's many online training platforms that will cover the latest and greatest across marketing channels. Moving into preparing your strategy, one major thing to consider is people's expectations of hotels at this time. And about 75% of North American leisure travelers are open to receiving communications from hotels. And when asked what type of communication was important to them, the top responses was information around packages and specials for future stays, which really reveals that people are already daydreaming about future travel. Other responses include what is the property doing to protect guests, the impact of COVID-19 on the area, what the property is doing to protect staff, and a COVID-19 response plan. In light of this, you should prepare your website to address if the hotel is open or closed, reassure guests that there is a prevention plan in place, and make your flexible cancellation policy very clear and prominently displayed throughout the website. An FAQ section surrounding questions regarding COVID-19 should also be a top priority. And if your hotel brand is doing anything to help the community, consider doing a feature on your website and prompt website visitors to get involved if relevant.
Make sure that you're optimizing your content for visibility as well. As much as we don't like to use OTAs, they're a necessary evil, and they're going to be even more necessary moving forward. We know at this time with such little demand, we're going to take every booking through every channel, and a way to do this on OTAs is to better maximize your listing. In order to do this, you need to make sure that your content score is as high as possible. So take the time to go through, just like you would with your GDS HOD audit, and make sure you have all high-resolution photos, you have all your amenities and your policies, so that your content score can be as high as possible to best improve your listing.
In addition to boosting visibility on OTAs, while travel is on pause, it's a great opportunity to increase your organic visibility, especially while paid search has gone quiet. And I mentioned already that creating FAQs surrounding COVID-19 top questions is not only critical for guests, but from an SEO perspective, it gives your hotel the opportunity to show and quick answer results. If your hotel has closed, be sure to create optimized content around the hotel's reopening, as well as rich destination content. And one area of organic real estate you shouldn't overlook is making sure your local listings are up to date and reflect if your hotel is open or closed. It's really these little simple things like this that can be really critical to success. And you should also focus on developing rich destination content, as people will be searching for unique experiences post-COVID-19. And if nothing else, be sure to continue ongoing SEO maintenance, which is critical to ensure your website is properly crawled and indexed to maintain visibility and rankings on search engines.
At this time, we're mostly hearing from guests who currently have a reservation. As much as we look forward to the future when we can hear about guest booking in the coming days, right now, most guests are calling to discuss the reservations that they have or to cancel the reservations that they have. It's best if a guest is calling to discuss an existing reservation, to communicate to them that a prevention plan is in place to really help build their confidence in coming to stay with you. Consider a complimentary add-on to make their travel less stressful. Give them an on-property credit to an F&B outlet if possible. Do something to let them know they're valued and that you're listening. And of course, provide the contact information that they can reach out to you and any links that you leave are going to help them feel comfortable. For those who call to cancel, it's best to show compassion this time, despite the fact we're all hurting for the bottom line. Waive the cancellation fees during COVID-19. Allow the guests to book a future stay or purchase a gift card for a reservation amount, because we can be sure guests will remember how they've been treated during this period. And if it's not a positive experience, they won't come back.
We talked earlier about what people want to hear from hotels, and now we're going to look at how people are spending time online during COVID-19. Almost 45% of people are spending more time on social media, and 75% are interested in live streaming postponed events and virtual tours of interesting places. All of this reveals that people are hyper connected online while staying at home, and hotels can utilize the opportunity to strengthen the brand relationship and stay connected with guests through social media, editorial blog content, and email. Here are just some example ideas you can capitalize on. For social media, consider highlighting top things to see and do in your destination and ask people to comment with their wish list itinerary to inspire people to begin daydreaming about travel. As mentioned, virtual tours are very popular as people cannot go out and explore, so consider sharing virtual tours of local landmarks and museums. And Google has this great arts and culture collection that includes virtual tours of top museums throughout the world, local art galleries, and so on. Another social media idea is to create destination-themed Spotify playlists, Zoom backgrounds, and book recommendations to keep your property and destination top of mind for future guests, but also giving them little pleasures to enjoy at home during this really stressful time. For blog ideas, you can share a recipe from your restaurant chef with a complimentary cocktail. You can see on social media that everyone is getting very creative with their at-home culinary and cocktail skills. You can share do-it-yourself spa treatment recommendations from your on-site spa, fitness and meditation tips and videos if your property offers on-site fitness or meditation classes, and so on. If you're a family-friendly hotel, we all know that a lot of parents are struggling to keep their kids engaged while at home, so it's a great idea to equip parents with fun activities for their kids. One idea is a destination-themed scavenger hunt where you provide a printout of cards representing kid-friendly landmarks in your destination that parents can hide around the house and then go over fun facts of each landmark once they're all found. You can also consider property and destination-themed coloring pages that parents can print out for the kids. So you can really get creative here. This is just a social media example of a New York City hotel sharing a virtual tour of the Guggenheim and the Met. Here's an example blog post featuring a recipe from the property chef. Looks delicious, if I do say so myself. Here are example printable coloring pages themed around a Portland hotel's on-site gear shed of rentable equipment and outdoor activities. Next, we have an example of printable cards of the kid-friendly landmarks that parents can print out and hide around the house for the fun scavenger hunt. And finally, here's an example of a Curate Your Stay at Home email newsletter featuring a roundup of at-home activities such as the recipes we discussed, spa tips, activities for the children, and so on.
Whilst demand's on pause, it's perfect to focus that you're listing the correct offers and packages. We all know that this came about quite quickly in regards to hotels having to shut down. A lot of them at the time had their spring offer open. The hotels now aren't going to open until June or July potentially, so you want to make sure that spring offer is not still being shown. It'll look like your website's not been updated. You need to do an audit of all of your packages and special offers. Do they still fit your strategies at this point? If possible, protect your rate. Right now, we're seeing a lot of hotels really drop their rates, but when there's no demand, dropping rates won't bring in the bookings. Offer value adds to your guests instead of ADR cuts. Can you offer them a bottle of Prosecco upon arrival, a discount on parking, something else that will incentivize them to book? Make sure that you're looking at the target markets that you think will come back first. A lot of market research right now suggests that the drive domestic markets will be the first ones to start booking. So target your offers to the markets that are going to come back first. Ensure that you're ahead of your competition and you can get as many of those bookings as possible. And then make sure you're connected on meta search. This is something that's really become very popular with booking channels in the previous years, but a lot of people haven't had a chance to get this set up. Take the time to get connected, speak to your CRS provider. While some of them do require a PPC budget, not all of them do, and some of them can offer very reasonable commission models, which allow you to get activated on meta search without offering any upfront money.
In terms of offers, since booking windows are expanding, advanced purchase offers will be critical to driving future stays, as well as local markets are expected to rebound first, as Daniel mentioned, so hotels should brainstorm unique staycation packages for midweek and weekends. And finally, many hotels are giving back to first responders and healthcare workers during this difficult time. Some ways your hotel can consider giving back include featuring an affordable rate for healthcare workers that need to rest or quarantine from the rest of their family. You can offer complimentary rooms by participating in the American Hotels and Lodging Association's Hospitality for Hope initiative, donate food from your hotel restaurant to local hospitals, or donate to a COVID-19 recovery fund. In terms of marketing initiatives while travel is on pause, if your hotel has available budget at this time, you can leverage light marketing initiatives focused on upper funnel and brand awareness to drive advanced bookings. However, I want to really emphasize this. You want to ensure that you embrace sensitive messaging throughout all campaigns at this time. Marketing channels, on the other hand, can include SEM, GDM, paid social, and as Daniel was saying earlier, meta search remains a critical piece in the search ecosystem. And in fact, global cost per click rates on hotel meta search platforms are currently averaging lower than $1 for the first time in years. So this means that if budget allows, hotel brands can still participate in meta search platforms at lower rates and can still collect valuable data while driving traffic and engagement to the hotel website. When running marketing throughout travel on pause and even into the initial rise in travel demand, it's really important to ensure you're spending your marketing dollars efficiently. So in light of this, you really want to hone in on the right audience and persona. And you can do this by leveraging first-party travel intent data from partners like Sojourn and Adara to ensure you're covering 100% of travel intent to your destination, really focusing on a 90-day advanced booking window. You should also exclude demographics that are less likely to travel, such as those age 65 plus. And in your paid search efforts, you should focus on destination and branded keywords at this time and exclude keywords related to coronavirus and cancellations. You want people to be able to access that information on your website through organic search, so you aren't paying for clicks with no intent to book.
So here we have the strategy snapshot for our phase one. Let's look at the distribution top tips first. Reassess your rate strategy, take a look at your rate parity, look at the offers, review your book direct perks and cancellation policies, make your direct site as appealing as possible. Look at your GDS HOD, audit it, improve it, refine your CRS database and clear out some of the things you've been meaning to. Take a look at the packages on all channels, not just your direct. Are they making sense with your rate strategy? Protect your rate where possible. Offer value to the guests. Don't just offer rate cuts. And take a look at your extranet on the OTAs. Is your content score at 100%? If it isn't, why isn't it? Looking at marketing top tips, we recommend that you reassess your digital strategy and assets. Ensure that your flexible cancellation policy is communicated across all of your channels. Ensure your website's up to date, speaking to what's currently going on with the situation. And then hone in on that right audience and persona with sensitive messaging. And most importantly, strengthen the brand relationship that you have with the content that you're showing. Provide value to your guests.
So now let's dive into some industry recovery data trends. According to travel data from Adara, unique searches for flights to China increased by 29% for the week of March 8th, which is when travel restrictions were lifted in China. And based on data from TripTease, Direct bookings in South Korea increased when the number of cases began to stabilize around March 10th, and this was due to an increase in domestic travel. Looking at data across the NextGuest portfolio, we have seen significant declines in website traffic, bookings, and revenue due to COVID-19. In the first week of April, website traffic was down by 76.3%, and bookings were down by 94.9%. So as you prepare for recovery, here are some potential indicators that travel demand is picking up. Now, it's really important to note that indicators can vary depending on factors such as what marketing is live and the impact of COVID-19 on your destination. However, some indicators you can watch out for include an increase in organic website traffic, increase in bookings initiated, increase in search volume for relevant keywords and Google Trends data for your destination, as well as an increase in flight searches to your destination.
Now that we understand what the initial rebound in travel demand could potentially look like, let's move into recovery phase 2, focused on strategies for the initial rise in travel demand. We covered important website content for when travel is on pause, and now we're going to explore what content is critical to aid guests through the travel journey during the initial rise in travel demand. If the hotel has closed, clearly state that the hotel is open and accepting reservations. It's important to clearly address these cancellation policies again and any other critical hotel information such as restaurant hours, spa facilities that are active, and so on. People will still be very cautious even as COVID-19 begins to subside. So it's important to continue to reassure guests that the hotel is still taking proper precautions and that there is a prevention plan in place. And destination content will become even more critical as people will be highly discerning on their first trip post-COVID-19 and will be looking for those unique travel experiences. And it's important to update any area guides on your website, create unique itineraries for each customer segment, highlight interesting upcoming events in your destination, and ultimately just ensure all of your destination content is fresh and up to date.
Once we start to see that initial rise in transfer demand, we need to re-emphasize the cancellation policy as well. We need to make sure that our guests are feeling comfortable and they're incentivized to book. Reassure your guests and give them that incentive to book by providing a flexible cancellation policy. Especially with what's gone on currently, guests have had a nightmare when trying to cancel with OTAs. They've been told to wait on hold for hours at a time. They've not been able to get through. And then when they've got through, it's not been actioned. Use this opportunity as a really good selling point to why they should book with you directly. They'll get the flexible cancellation and the personal touch. And at this point too, don't exist in silo. You're going to see some demand uptick indicators on your side, but don't just stop there. Reach out, speak with your OTA market managers. They're going to have a really good holistic view and they're going to see where their bookings are coming in. Take that information and use it to inform your revenue strategy. And don't just stop there. Speak to your sales partners, speak to your distribution account managers, speak to your technology partners. Take as much information as you can from all the people you work with so you can use this to paint a clear picture of what's happening so you're not necessarily missing anything that your hotel maybe isn't taking part in. And at this time as well, it's the perfect time to reach out directly to your guests with email campaigns. We've all got hotels that have had a lot of guests cancel, and this is a great time to reach out to them again. They're already qualified. We know they wanted to book your hotel. So reach out to them. Offer them a complimentary add-on to incentivize them to book back. Reach back out to those groups and meetings that have canceled. Are they looking to host them again? Do they just want to push to new dates? Really help to try and facilitate that change. Also as well, send out generic emails to your entire list. Let them know that you're open and you're booking for business. You can check out certain special offers and you can reassure them about the policies that are put in place to make sure that the hotel is safe for them to visit. And of course, don't forget to reach out to the loyalty members. Continue to thank them for their continued loyalty and for sticking with you, and invite them to come back and explore again. Tell them what the perks are and really incentivize them to book with you.
So now let's take a look at some booking behavior data trends that will help shape your recovery strategy. First and foremost, booking windows are expanding. According to Adara travel data, there was a large spike in leisure traveler flight bookings when airlines announced a shift in change fee policies, and this further emphasizes the importance of keeping your cancellation policies flexible. This data also shows that the majority of leisure traveler flight bookings are for trips 90 days out, so hotels can really benefit from focusing on advanced bookings. Hotels should also expect to see an increase in travel from drive markets before fly-in markets, as people may initially be more comfortable taking short trips nearby. According to Sojourn travel data for the LA metro area, 70% of hotel searches in March were for destinations within a 500-mile radius, which is an 11% increase from last year.
So again, we've discussed this a few times, but this is going to be something that continually we come back to in each stage of the rebound. You have to continually refine your special offer strategy. There's no set it and forget it revenue management anymore. It's going to change on a weekly basis, and we need to make sure we're adapting to it. So you need to revisit your special offers on your direct channel, on your GDS channel, and on the OTAs. Do they still fit in with your strategies? Are they speaking to the demand that's rising, or have you focused your strategies on the wrong segment? Which market is flourishing? If it's drive-in, as we said, launch a staycation or a drive and stay offer. If you adjust to these current conditions and customer needs, it'll be crucial that you don't miss out. And for the OTAs as well, appreciate the travel agents haven't really had much production in the last couple of months. Offering a slight commission increase to them will be seen as really offering a nice olive branch to them, and they're going to look at your hotel really favorably.
Yeah, and based on the travel demand insights Victoria shared and all of the considerations Daniel just highlighted, some special offers that are most appropriate are advanced purchase, staycation, weekend getaways, length of stay offers to ensure you're maximizing the revenue of every booking, business to leisure packages so you're fully capitalizing on any business travel that rebounds, and exclusive offers to loyalty members. And during times of crisis, it's important to prioritize your most loyal and repeat guests. And in this phase, while COVID-19 subsides, it's also a great idea to offer a celebration package for healthcare workers to travel, de-stress, and reconnect with their loved ones. To give you some inspiration for your advanced purchase offer, consider packages for bookings starting in June, including an F&B credit and other little perks like early check-in or late checkout. And if you're promoting these offers through campaigns, your campaign can have a theme like your vacation is waiting, dream now, travel later. And if you're in a destination with a lot of outdoor activities and sites, you can embrace the theme your next adventure is waiting. For staycation package ideas, consider including once again an F&B credit and complimentary parking since this is a drive-in market. And to support local businesses, consider partnering with a local business to include a unique experience in your package. Campaign themes to promote this offer can include Adventure Starts Here, Support Local, since supporting local businesses will be a top priority for consumers post-COVID-19, or a cute little theme such as Look No Further for your next escape.
Let's really focus on leveraging every channel to the fullest at this point. There's only going to be a little bit of demand, so we want to make sure we can claw in as much of it as possible. Really be sure to make use of that GDS. If you had GDS marketing prior to COVID, you most likely paused it or stopped it during the down period. It's time to get that marketing re-upped, to get your property in front of those agents who are going to be booking and capture the guests who are now entering the planning stages. Also, it's safe to say that most likely for 2020, group business is going to be very minimal at best. Take the time to reach your contacts. Most people now are going to be looking to get those group 2021 bookings in, and they may even be rescheduling those 2020 trips. The earlier you can engage and interact with these avenues, the more likely you are to secure the bookings.
And beyond your distribution channels, it's critical to ensure that your website is well optimized for conversions and that you're capturing as many direct bookings as possible. And while this can seem like a really daunting task, there are some simple ways you can boost conversions quickly. First, you'll want to ensure Book Direct perks are prominently displayed throughout the website, as well as a flexible cancellation policy available through the direct channel. Next, a reservation abandonment strategy that prompts those who have initiated a booking to come back and finish the process will really help regain potentially lost bookings. Other strategies include offering gated rates and instant rewards on your website, as well as implementing a website personalization strategy that personalizes content based on customer personas, feeder markets, and real-time website pathing behaviors. And of course, ensuring direct bookings relies on a thoughtful marketing plan that leverages critical channels. And when planning for recovery, hotels should strategize a month-to-month marketing plan that progressively builds with the rise in travel demand and shifts from upper funnel initiatives to lower funnel initiatives over time. And here's just a quick snapshot of the strategy focus for your marketing recovery. Your marketing plan should begin 1 month before travel demand increases or your hotel reopens, with a focus on generating brand awareness, a focus on local and drive-in markets, and advanced purchase offers as you begin ramping up for your fly-in markets. In this month, you will focus on capturing bookings with a 30 to 60 day look back window. And the marketing budget allocation for the first month is about 80% upper funnel, 20% lower funnel. Once travel demand increases or the hotel reopens, you should start to hone in on in-market audiences, continue to remarket website visitors as that cookie pool grows, and capture bookings with a 90-day look-back window. And budget allocation here for the second month is about 60% upper funnel and 40% lower funnel. Month 3, the plan should begin ramping up lower funnel targeting and retargeting to be about 60% lower funnel. And month 4 and beyond, you should adjust your marketing allocation to be about 20% upper funnel and 80% lower funnel, really focusing on capitalizing on intent. And as your plan progresses beyond the 4th month, here you'll want to analyze performance and insights and adjust your strategy with the evolving travel demand, which we'll cover in phase 3 of the recovery strategy.
And in tandem with what Margaret was just discussing, let's look at the recovery distribution strategy focus. For that month before your hotel reopens, let's really take a look at auditing your distribution channels, developing that multi-channel rate strategy. Take the time to review your cancellation policies, get those drive market offers ready so when they come back, you're already offering it. Take the time to look into potential new partners. Meta search is a great example of that. And take the time to go through your OTA content score, get it maximized, get yourself ready to show. For that second month, as travel demand strengthens, take another look at your rate strategy. Is it still in line with what the market's showing? Start to ramp up your GDS media. Identify potential new meeting planners you can reach out to. Get more offered on your direct. Where possible, avoid the rate cutting. Really try and offer them value. Communicate with your industry partners. Try and identify those blind spots that you may have missed. And then as we move forward in the 3rd month, look at the rate strategy again. I can't emphasize it enough. Reach out to your guests directly. Use direct email marketing to really speak with them. Look at your booker insights. Where have you seen your bookings come in from? Do you need to reach out to them more? And then start to launch those targeted rates for the longer lead time. Reach out to the international bookers who are now starting to look to travel and offer the value to the guests to protect the ADR. We say it more than once, but we can't really emphasize it enough. Post 9/11 and post 2008 financial crash, it took between 3 and 5 years for rate to recover because hotels dropped their rates to such a large extent. And then for the final 4 to 6 months, as you see that demand strengthening, review your rate strategy, review how your GDS media has performed, and then try and optimize that cost of acquisition. Drive the bookings where possible through the cheaper channels. So as we see the initial rise in travel demand, let's take a look at the marketing initiatives. As that demand starts to pick up, we need to continue to build brand awareness and start to rebuild our remarketing pool. Really hyper-focus on those local and drive-in markets. We have the rate strategy for them. We need to advertise it to them. Some of the marketing initiatives you can use would be the SEM, the GDN, the paid social, your SEO, your meta search, and even more going into TripAdvisor display and the TripAdvisor business listings. And here we have our strategy snapshot. Again, just going through looking at distribution top tips. Speak to your industry partners to understand what's happening in your market. Revisit your special offers on your direct, your GDS, your OTAs. Leverage your GDS marketing to get your property in front of agents. And remember, you can do that by offering a slight increase in commission. That will probably be more effective than an ADR drop. And reach out now. Start communicating with those 2021 groups. They're looking to book now. Get involved. For marketing, invite the guests who canceled to book again. Give them a special offer. Incentivize them to book. Ensure you have your flexible cancellation policy on all channels. Really advertise it. Develop that month-to-month digital strategy. Get that shift from upper to lower funnel, targeting and messaging. And then prepare your website with content and conversion optimization tools so you can drive bookings. And here we have recovery phase 3, looking at it when their travel demand strengthens and the hotels are reopening. So for this period, utilizing digital data and insights is going to be essential to crafting the correct distribution strategy. You'll have had your GDS media running a little while now. It's time to review it, see how it's performed. If it's not performed, why hasn't it? What do you think you're missing that would get it to convert better? If we continue to optimize this, it's only going to drive your ROAS, your return on ad spend. Optimize your costs. We know that certain channels come with higher commissions and costs attached. In that initial period, we're going to be trying to get bookings on all channels. But as we start to see that travel strengthen and demand come back in, we're going to want to continue to try and push them to the cheaper channels and really reduce this cost of acquisition. And then look at your special offers again across all channels. Are they still in line with the strategies? Do we need the OTA package and member discounts we opted in just to get any kind of feedback? Or do we want to reduce our GDS commissions back to 10%? Are we seeing enough now? We just need to keep continually reviewing these initiatives as that business comes back in.
And when utilizing data and insights in your marketing strategy, hotels should assess website performance based on the goals and KPIs and identify key areas of the website to optimize for conversions. And we talked about this for when travel is on pause, but optimizing your website is an ongoing process that is really critical in any phase of your plan. And by now, your marketing campaigns will have performance and demographic insights that you can leverage to optimize ongoing performance. You should review share of voice with your comp set, which targeting strategies are most impacting your conversions, and shift budget allocation to channels that are best performing. And a nimble plan is really the key here and will be critical to success. And don't forget A/B testing to see which campaign elements are resonating most. Also critical to success will be ensuring a multi-channel approach with a cohesive theme that's also personalized for each phase of the travel planning journey. And here at NextGuest, our multi-channel planning approach helps us most effectively leverage marketing channels for clients. And there's a few things to keep top of mind while you're planning your campaigns. So first and foremost, you should leverage a holistic media mix and really drill down to the why of your campaign. The why determines the goals you're trying to achieve and the KPIs to measure the success across channels. Next, campaigns should focus on a target persona such as luxury travelers, business travelers, families, and so on, so that you can ensure your message is relevant and resonates across channels with your key audiences. And while campaigns should focus on one cohesive theme, your campaign messaging should be personalized to be relevant to each phase of the travel journey. So whether it be from dreaming to booking and even the experiencing phase. And finally, once you inspire action, it's important to drive guests to an engaging custom landing page or mini site that ties into the overarching theme and really helps convert visitors once you drive them there with all of your marketing efforts. And throughout this marketing mix, you'll want to continue to leverage many of the same marketing channels, but with a deeper focus on lower funnel targeting strategies and travel intent. And to maximize revenue per booking in this phase, consider putting those who convert into their own remarketing pool to continue to market spa and dining and really upsell these upcoming guests and arrivals.
So let's take a look at the strategy snapshot for that third phase. For the distribution top tips, review and optimize your GDS media promotions. Make sure that you're getting the best return on ad spend you can. Identify those channels that have the lower cost of acquisition, and where possible, ensure you're pushing traffic to the channels. And review your strategies across all your distribution channels, including the special offers you're running on OTA with package and membership discounts, and if you have your increased GDS commissions, do you still need them? For the marketing top tips, launch a multi-channel campaign to target a specific customer persona with cohesive messaging across all channels. Shift that targeted messaging from the upper funnel to the lower funnel. Get the conversions. And then create your content for the website, your social media, your blog, and email that highlights your hotel, the local restaurants, and the attractions being open. Sell yourself. And for the top 5 things we'd love you to take away from this, and that while it is important to have a comprehensive hotel recovery strategy, we do feel that there's 5 key concepts and action items. So number 1, align your marketing strategy with revenue management. That's what this whole webinar has been. It's important to have a parallel approach for revenue and distribution and digital marketing. It will really help you start strong. Implement a flexible cancellation policy. It's going to be crucial to provide consumers with the confidence to book. Hone in on the right audience and customer persona. As we're going to see throughout the recovery strategy, if you analyze your data, this will probably change a lot from the initial phase to the phases as we move forward. But it is important to ensure that you're reaching the most qualified audience with the correct messaging. Number 4, market to guests and groups that have canceled. They're already qualified that they wanted to stay at your hotel. Give them an incentive to rebook, something like a special offer or a free add-on, because they're most likely to book again. And finally, focus on the right offers and the right messaging across all your distribution channels. Throughout all of these phases of recovery, we need to make sure our offers are relevant to the target personas and really attractive their booking behaviors. And messaging should be sensitive and relevant at all times. Pay attention to what's going on in the world and keep your advertising messaging sensitive to it.
Thank you for watching our webinar. We hope you found this to be helpful as you navigate the situation around COVID-19 and prepare your hotel for recovery. Feel free to reach out to NextGuest or Premier Advisory Group if you have any questions, and we'd be happy to assist.